Hello City Builders, this is Hubbub. Welcome back to the city of Nuvo Springs on the Azure Gulf map in the Sunset Harbor DLC. This may be the last video in this chapter of videos about industry in Nuvo Springs. I've spent the last 4 videos working on developing ore and oil industries. We started with developing this ore extraction facility, and then we moved on to ore special goods right here. And then we worked on oil extraction. And then finally, the last video, we worked on oil special goods right here. What I want to do in this video is actually turn on all these unique factories. I actually built all this out 2 or 3 weeks ago as I was working on the other videos off camera. We have pretty much almost all the factories here. We have the soft paper factory, this is the modular housing factory, and then right next to it we have the car factory right here, and then a little bit down the road, the food factory. And then over here we have electronics. Lemonade has already been running for a while because I had crops and glass going. And then we have the clothing factory right here. Pair new apparel. We'll all recognize that from the corny commercials. And then finally we have the printing press right over here. So let's just start with turning on these warehouses. And so we're going to see a flood of vehicles, a flood of orders, because now vehicles are going to be bringing goods to each of these storage facilities. And these facilities are also going to start supplying other locations around the city, even though they're dedicated to these factories. These factories aren't actually on yet. So I'm going to put a significant amount of stress on my productive capacity right now. And I'm just going to have to pay attention to troubleshooting the production of special goods. So we're waiting now for these warehouses to start filling. I don't want to do, I mean, I could turn on the factories also, but they're going to show no goods. What I could do is start checking these and see where things are coming from. So this one is this one's receiving delivery over the road network. I don't like this. This one is receiving. See, what's the point of having these cargo hubs? Okay. We have, okay, now that one we're pulling from here. Okay. So if I come over here, we should have a train coming in to drop off those petroleum products. This one has nothing coming in at the moment. So some of this is working, some of it doesn't seem to be working. I might though. I may turn all these up to full until we actually have goods in the warehouses. This one I could probably turn on. So we're not 100% full. We're not even 50% full, but we have paper and plastics in the very near vicinity of our printing press. So now let's see if this generates an order. And there is paper. No, that's plastics. Nope, that's what we needed. Okay, check it out. Pulling in. Yep, perfect. Okay, so now this one should start operating, and he's going to go back to this warehouse. Good. All right, so that one is working. Now let's check this. We have crops. No. Okay. So these are set to fill. Let's put these to fill. To a certain extent, it doesn't really matter. It's just setting a reorder point. So by setting it at fill, the warehouse reorders the warehouse orders special goods or resources at 80%. If it's set to balance, it orders at 50%. I'd rather that it's reordering at 80%. Okay, so now these have animal plastics, right? So we might be able to turn this one on. The only thing we're missing here is plastics. If we put our eyes on, and there's the truck right there. Nope, returning to facility. Let's see. This one's, is that clothing? Yep. Okay, so this truck right now, how cool is that? Is bringing plastics over here. Check it out. Boom. Alrighty then. Let's turn this up to 150. There's no reason not to turn in my opinion, there's no reason not to turn the factories on up to 100%. You can adjust your extraction, rate of extraction, and rate of production of special goods to accommodate for increased demand of those resources at the factories. So, okay, so look at those losses. That's because I'm trying to fill up those factories. I think. Those warehouses should be recording. Yep, warehouses are recording losses because they're trying to fill right now and they're not selling anything. But let's see. This, not enough water. What the heck? Okay. There we go. Now we're going to set this to full though. Set this to full and set this to full. So this has metals, glass, plastics. We're good. We can afford to turn this on. We're going to see a truck exit right here momentarily, and there it goes. Delivering plastics to the electronics factory. How cool is that? And now the electronics factory is operating normally at 150% capacity. Perfect. So let's just keep working down the road. I may want to keep an eye on this cargo. Let's see what comes out of here. Here we go. Where you going, buddy? There we go. That's how we want this to work. So this is a great example of how this model works. Personally, maybe I should... Let me table that for a sec and keep going. No, this would be a good time for a break. So often their factory's not having enough goods, or their production facility's not having enough buyers. Now, you can fix that by creating some slack in the chain. Here we have an ore storage facility in the very immediate vicinity of these mines. Now, these mines are either going to export, they're going to send goods to storage, or they're going to send goods to a special goods producer, depending on what orders are needed. If I pull up industry area right now, I'm still exporting twice as much ore as I'm importing. So right now, my productive capacity is handling things just fine. I haven't turned on all those factories yet, and the weight of the orders to fill those warehouses may not have fully filtered its way through the system. But we have our producers here, we have storage here, we have our oil producers right here, and we have storage here. And we have oil producers here with storage here and here. And the point of this storage is that our producers never report that they lack buyers, because there's always either export or storage or special goods to move. Wow, look at all that traffic to move those goods to. Now, similarly, over here, wow, traffic has really picked up. Let's look at this. 172. Okay, so we are seeing an effect already. So traffic might be something I have to troubleshoot. Over here, I have additional storage, right? And so they are in very immediate proximity to my special goods producers. These producers will never be empty for long when they run out of oil at particular junctures, because those orders will be filled by these storage facilities first. Now, there is this tendency in the game for orders to go all over the map. I do have the mod that forces the closest producer to provide. But here, then, you could see I have my petroleum refinery making fuels, which is a unique good, actually. And then I have plastics. How's that plastics look? Plastics nearly full, metals, more plastics, petroleum right here. And they should conceivably, theoretically, be supplying the needs of this factory. And in fact, these ones have their own separate road network. I mean, it's interconnected, right? But they're all on their own separate service road. Then we have, for special goods production, this unique factory is 7% full. So that is taking in goods that are being produced by the plastics warehouse and the petroleum refinery. And then we have commercial zones, because I did do a little bit of regular vanilla zoning of industry over here. So we have a warehouse yard to hold commercial goods. And I bet you that truck is... Nope, never mind. And then oil products, we do have some zoned oil industry as well. So in that supply chain, we have the raw resource, we have the special goods producers, and then we have the special goods storage. So the purpose of locating factories and warehouses the way I have is that there's always a ready supply of both special goods or resources, but also buyers. The other effect it has is reducing traffic across the network, right? Because these trucks are only traveling to, so these trucks are only traveling to here or to here, right? They drop off their goods here and then they're back on the highway. These trucks are only delivering from here over to here, and then they're back in their nests. So that's the other benefit of organizing it this way, is to reduce road traffic. Now let's see what we look like. 86% still. How many of these factories have we turned on? Have I gotten to this one yet? Yep, that one's running. Is this one running? This one's running. Look at that. And how full is that? And these flour's a little short. Paper's a little short. Okay, now, have we turned this one on yet? No. So let's go back to work turning on factories. Okay, so I need to turn these up to fill. So, one potential issue with how I have constructed this entire system is that my overhead will outweigh my revenue, because ultimately I'm going to be making money from selling unique goods. Okay, so immediately those orders come out from those warehouses that are local. There's the glass. Here comes metals. Waiting for animal products and plastics. Plastics. And there's our metals. There's our animal products. So the car factory, we're going to crank up. Let's crank this one up. That one's already running. Okay. System is not designed to fail. See, look, we're already making a profit here. My oil industry is still turning a profit. That's nuts. Let's just check this out real quick. What I want to see is, what I'm looking to see is, what's the balance between imported oil and exported oil? So right now I'm not importing anything. I'm still exporting 80 barrels of oil. If we end up with shortages of petroleum and plastics, I might need to increase petroleum and plastics production. So this may not be the time to fuss with production, because like that warehouse is pretty full. Look at all these trucks. Where are all these trucks going? Okay, see, so these are delivering to warehouses. Watch this. See, so this is how the system works. That's delivering to this warehouse over there, and then it'll come on back to our, it'll come back to the cargo terminal. So the footprint of that vehicle on the road network is limited to this space right here. And the downside we've already seen is theoretically I might end up with less stable revenue as I sort out the impact of overhead of maintaining all those warehouses. Where's that truck? There it is. Right, so when he's done here, he's going to swing back. And now he's going to go back to the cargo terminal. And so that particular truck's footprint on the road is whatever mile or two it traveled from the cargo terminal to the warehouse and back. We have another train coming in. Okay, so I think that may be it for today. I'm not sure how long this video actually will last, but I think the system needs to run a little bit so that I can accrue revenue and see how much tweaking I need to do of my overhead. These are all running at max capacity. It's a beautiful thing to look at. Ultimately, what's going to happen is, as these warehouses hit an equilibrium, their orders for special goods will decrease over time. As they hit a balance, they won't be ordering quite as much. These guys are pretty full, so we're keeping our factories full enough to produce what they need to produce at a high rate. And so ultimately, I will end up earning back more income from export of special goods in both the oil and the ore industries, and maybe even in farming and flour. Although my farming always is like the least productive industry. It's more me probably than the game. Okay, so it's time to wrap this. I've been babbling along way too much. Thank you so much for being present and watching this. This will be the last major video on industry for the moment in Nuvo Springs. I'm going to be turning to something cool in relation to tourism over the next set of videos. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you, City Builders, for being here. This is Hubbub signing off. Hello, City Builders. This is Hubbub one last time. I thought I'd try to be clever and drop in a Marvel-style post-credit scene But guess what? I forgot to turn on the microphone, so you get to experience this wonderful voiceover. What we're looking at here is the fruition of all that work and letting the simulation run for several hours. All of these warehouses have filled up and so our revenue stream has picked up considerably. The factories are running at full steam and are ably and amply supplied with special goods. So what we're looking at now is some significant revenue increase. The treasury has jumped from 12 million simoleons to 15 million. Also, when no one was looking, I went ahead and tried to work in some more special goods production in the oil area. So we've increased our production of petroleum and plastics. And so we're seeing some significant increase in simoleons revenue in both the oil industries and factories and warehouses in the budget. That has allowed me to decrease taxes on commercial entities all the way down to 1%, which is as low as the game will allow. And so happiness for commercial now, I've gotten up above 82%, which I'm pretty pleased with. Okay, so looking at a few more statistics here. Quick review of metrics. Again, happiness for commercial is above 82. Really pleased with that. Mass transit is moving 12,700 sims a week and about 4,000 in tourism. Don't even have a harbor in place yet. And I think that's about it for this end credit scene. I've started doing a little bit of detailing and beautification here. There will be more videos of that in the future. Thanks one more time for watching. This is Hubbub signing off.